regulation time ends in a 1-1 tie. It's not over quite yet.
Yes, it is, because the Penguins won the division, baby. Let's go. For the 9th time in Pittsburgh Penguins history, the Penguins have won their division. This division being the Mass Mutual's East Division this year. Whatever. The Penguins have home ice advantage heading into the playoffs because the Washington Capitals just tied the Philadelphia Flyers and went to overtime. Doesn't matter. I don't give a shit about the result of that game now because the Penguins, 77 points, finish out this 56-game schedule with a pretty damn good record. And this is going to be more of a playoff preview, a look back on the regular season, and, you know, a preview of the other divisions as well, more than a traditional PFR, because the Penguins won 1-0 against the Sabres today. There was one goal, and there was a cool goaltending performance. Also, if you haven't already noticed, I guess you can't really notice because I don't have anything out of frame, but I'm moving out. Final day here at Robert Morris for my junior year. Thank you all for your support this semester. But again, I don't know why I'm saying that because the playoffs are up. I'll be home for that. And if you don't already know, I'm going to be live streaming every single playoff game and doing a Penguins fan reaction afterwards. So I'm excited for that. I don't know if we'll be able to live stream every game necessarily, but I'm going to try and do as many as I can. Anyways, the Penguins win 1-0 today. Again, there's not much to say about this game. I want to talk more about the playoff preview and the implications of, you know, this regular season and just how surprising this team was. I really thought this team was a playoff bubble team on its way on the decline, and now they're first in the division. Sidney Crosby should win the Hart. 1-0 was your score today. Jeff Carter, the only goal. My 3 stars of the day would be Jeff Carter, Maxim, Lagace, who got the start in this one because Jari and DeSmith are hurt. I suppose we should go over the lines in a second. And also Frederick Gaudreau, who had the assist. Let's go over the lines real quick. So yeah, your injured reserve. Malkin is back. Tanev is not just yet. Rodrigues, I think, is day-to-day. DeSmith and Jari are confirmed to be back before the playoffs. But we'll get to that in a bit because we still have no idea when the playoffs are going to be. The Canucks, the Flames, even like the Capitals and the Bruins have games to play still. The Penguins, you know, they finished early. Rest will be very important, but I really hope this team isn't, you know, rusty heading into the first round. Matheson also on the injured reserve as well. Lagace got the start of this. Alex Diorio was the backup in this one, and as expected, because everyone predicted at the beginning of the season that Jeff Carter would score 5 goals in 2 games for the Penguins, and, you know, Maxim Lagace would get a shutout in this one. Everyone expected that, right? Now, the only other minor lineup change was Mark Friedman was out of the lineup. I'm not sure if he's hurt or anything. I didn't really look into it much because he's Mark Friedman. No offense to him, but, like, I don't know. And Chad Ruhwedel entered in. Happy birthday to him. Yesterday was his birthday. Today was Marcus Pettersson's birthday. So, good win, division win for both of those guys. So, hypocrisy is something we always talk about heading into the playoffs. Obviously, like, there's, you know, a bunch of upsets that have happened in recent memory in the NHL. Most infamously, the Tampa Bay Lightning losing to the Columbus Blue Jackets in 2019. That was just, you know, came out of nowhere, right? This Penguins team won division. I don't know when the last time the Penguins won the actual division. They did not win their division in 2016 or 2017. So there's always that little bit of, you know, hypocrisy that comes with being first in the division. You know, they're always, you know, the favorite, and then they end up losing and getting upset. This team, I don't think, has that, knock on wood, hopefully, because the Penguins' home ice advantage is so important, especially amidst this pandemic. You know, some stadiums don't even have fans in them, and the Penguins are likely going to play the Islanders in the first round or the Bruins. Not going to play the Capitals at all. I think that's confirmed now. They're probably going to play the Islanders. And the Penguins are 22-3-2 at home this season. 22-3-2. 3. So if the Penguins were playing a playoff series, they still would have not lost that. They don't even have enough regulation losses to lose a playoff series. They have 3 losses at home. It's incredible. And it's so important that this team got home ice advantage, and they did. So they have home ice advantage for at least the first round. I'm still not sure what they're going to do with reseeding, but hopefully the Penguins will be able to get there in the first place. And again, as I mentioned before, I'll go on record saying that I thought this Penguins team was going to slowly decline. Evgeni Malkin and Kris Letang have 2 years left on their deal, including this year. So next year, we can say that next summer they'll be an unrestricted free agent. They have the same amount of years left on their deal as Jeff Carter does. Sidney Crosby's 33, and the Penguins, obviously have 3 Stanley Cups with this core. A lot of players have left, and a lot of people in Pittsburgh thought that they were going to be a fringe playoff team, especially with the upcoming Rangers. The Flyers were supposed to be good. Even the Devils and the Sabres were supposed to be good. The Bruins were thought to be on the decline. The Washington Capitals were thought to be on the decline. And nothing changed. Shannon, the hockey guy, says this a lot on his channel. And, as a Penguins fan, I don't say it as much because I'm a Penguins fan. I root for them. But I definitely agree with the statement that he says when he says, never count out the Pittsburgh Penguins. No matter what. Injuries, adversity, whatever it is, COVID. No matter what, the Pittsburgh Penguins are always gonna persevere. No matter if their players are on the wrong side of 30, and their star players are on the wrong side of 30, and if everyone thinks they're washed up. Sidney Crosby should win the Hart this year. That's what I have in my bottom right corner. These are potential award nominees. Some are a little bit of a stretch, but I kind of ranked these from what I think should be most likely to least likely. Except for Russ and Jake Guentzel, I didn't throw them in an award. I don't think they could reasonably win any awards, Jake Guentzel or Bryan Russ, but I do think they need more recognition. I think Bryan Russ is a top 10 winger in the NHL. Sue me. Same with Jake Guentzel. Sidney Crosby should at least be a Hart Trophy nominee. They're going to give it to McDavid or Draisaitl or whatever, but the way that he carries this team, and literally the definition of the Hart Trophy is the most valuable player to your team, not the best player in the league. The most valuable player in the league, even though I still think Crosby is still the best player in the league. Sue me. He should win the Hart, and that is my PFR question for the night. Do you think Sidney Crosby should win the Hart? Because I certainly think he should. I also think he should be nominated for the Selke because his defensive play gets overlooked. He's so damn good defensively, and we'll get to that more when we talk about stats. Kris Letang is top 5 in defenseman scoring, and he's never been nominated for a Norris except for the 1 year in 2014 he's ever won it. Adam Fox is going to be, or Victor Hedman, they're going to run away with the Norris, but I think Letang should at least be nominated. Jack Adams, Mike Sullivan. Mike Sullivan deserves at least one Jack Adams for over what he's done these past couple of years for the Penguins. Even, take away the Stanley Cups, he still kept the Penguins in contending shape. And even GM of the year, I know Ron Hextall didn't do much, but based off of the play, I think Jeff Carter has been the best trade deadline acquisition by any team. And I think he has the stats to prove it. 5 goals in 2 games. So, GM of the year, Ron Hextall coming in halfway. And as I mentioned before, Russ and Jake, they deserve more recognition, man. And Jared McCann, Cody, Ceci, a lot of breakout players this year. Very happy with the Pittsburgh Penguins this year. Very happy with this team. I want to go over the stats for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And I'm not going to go in depth with these. These are literally just goals, assists, points. I have a small whiteboard. I'm not going to, write everything out, and I'm going home tomorrow morning, so whatever. In red, I don't know if you guys can see this. I'll read this out for you as well. In red is what these players would score over an 82-game season based on their points per game. Now, I'm going to come out and just share you guys why this is kind of a faulty, stat, because Mark Friedman has a pretty good points per game with the Penguins because he's played, 5 games, and he has 7 points. He, based on his points per game, would score 49 points over a season, which is very good for a player of his status. So keep that in mind. Keep it with a grain of salt. But for the most part, the players that have played a pretty good chunk of the season have stats that are pretty much estimates of what they would do over an 82-game season. So Sidney Crosby would lead your team, and he did lead the team this year in goals and points. And assists as well. 38 assists, 24 goals, 62 points. That's 94 points over an 82-game schedule. That's nothing, stellar, but that's nothing crazy by his standards, especially earlier on in his career. But at 33 years old and his 16th year in the NHL, he's still doing it, man. He's still doing it. 94 points? Absolutely incredible. Jake Guentzel, 23 goals this year, 57 points, 85 points over an 82-game season. I'll take that. Bryan Russ, 62 points over an 82-game season, 42 points in this season. Jason Zucker, probably the biggest red flag or underachiever this year for the Penguins. I know he was hurt. I did that whole video on him. I wrote an article about him as well. Only 9 goals, 9 assists, 18 points. He is warming up a little bit, and he'll be a very crucial piece for the Penguins going into the playoffs. That would only account to 40 points over an 82-game schedule, so not, good for a top 6 forward. Evgeni Malkin, despite being hurt and not being, incredible this year, didn't even surpass 10 goals. 28 points, though, and that's 72 points over an 82-game season. So still, Malkin still has it. Kasperi, captain, 11 goals, 19 assists, 30 points, 63 points over an 82-game schedule. Jeff Carter, this is another one which is, very indicative of his recent play and not very telling, and kind of a big grain of salt on this one, because only with the Penguins, his points per game is very high. 8 goals, 2 assists, 10 points, 63 points over an 82-game schedule. I could see Carter maybe doing that, but probably not. That's a little too many points for a guy, of his age, but I don't know. Based on his points per game, with the, 8-9 games he's played with the Penguins, that's what he would score in an 82-game schedule. Evan Rodrigues, 32 points over an 82-game schedule, 14 points this year. And Jared McCann, number one, storyline for me this year is Jared McCann. And we love him here on this channel, don't we? Absolutely incredible. I've rooted for Jared McCann ever since he came over in that trade with Bukestad and for Sheahan and Brassard. Dear Lord. Remember Riley Sheahan? He played in this game too against with the Sabres. Jared McCann, man, that's his potential. His potential, and that is 62 points over an 82-game season. That's his potential, in my opinion. 32 points this year, 14 goals, 18 assists, second power play unit right now. But when everyone was hurt, he was on the first power play unit. He leads the team in power play goals. Penguins need to protect him in the expansion draft, and I think he has 2 years left before he's still an RFA. He's still very young, so keep him and Jake and Rust, and that'll be your young core, and Marino, and fuel it with Crosby and Malkin and Zucker and Kapanen, and you get this good of a team. Aston-Reese, 9 goals, that's a career high, 27 points. Blueger, 42 points over an 82-game schedule. That's also indicative. He's been hurt a little bit more, but still 22 points in a 56-game schedule is good for him. Tanev, another one that's kind of, sketchy because he's been hurt as well. 41 points over an 82-game schedule, 16 points in the actual schedule. Again, he's hurt as well. He should be back for the playoffs, if not in the middle of round 1. Colton Sceviour, 10 points on this season, 18 over an 82-game schedule. Frederick Gaudreau, this is another big grain of salt one, 9 points this entire season, but based off of his recent play, his points per game has gone up. He would be scoring at a 31-point pace for over an 82-game schedule. Sam Lafferty, 0 goals. He's, I think, the only Penguin forward that has 0 goals. And also, I don't have Jankowski, O'Connor. I had to draw the line somewhere because, jamming in for the space here. Lafferty, 14 points over an 82-game schedule, 6 points on this year as well. Dumoulin, 4 goals, 10 assists, 14 points, 28 over an 82-game schedule. Matheson, 16 points, that's 29 over an 82-game schedule. Pettersson, 9 points this year, 16 over an 82-game schedule. As I mentioned, Friedman, 49 over an 82-game schedule, 7 points over 56, but he did not play 56 games for the Penguins. Again, big grain of salt for that one. Cody, Ceci, incredible season. 17 points this season. 27 points over an 82-game schedule adjusted. Marino and Zucker. Marino and Zucker were the 2 areas of concern for me and players that kind of dipped. Marino only has 0.25 points per game as opposed to a 0.50 points per game in his freshman season or his rookie season. So kind of had a sophomore slump, but still that's good for 20 points over an 82-game schedule. Chad Ruhwedel, 4 points in 56, or I don't know how many games he played in this 56-game schedule. 10 points over an 82-game schedule. Kris Letang, I saved that one for last, and I know I'm going over this real fast here, but overall on the defensive side, a little bit more out of the defense would be nice, especially out of Matheson. Point production-wise, even though I thought Matheson and even Ceci had a great, season just on the ice overall, defensively, I would like to just see a little bit more out of them offensively. Dumoulin had a pretty good offensive season as well. And again, Marino should probably get a little bit more points, in my opinion. But Kris Letang, 7 goals, 38 assists, 45 points in this 56-game schedule. That is good for 68 points over an 82-game schedule. And that one is, pretty telling because he did play a good chunk of games for the Penguins this year. He did not have many injury troubles, and hopefully that can continue. Goaltenders. 25 wins for Tristan Jarry, 2 shutouts, a .909 save percentage, not the best in the world. And again, I put him up for like maybe the Vezina, probably not though. And Casey DeSmith, 11 wins, .912 save percentage, and 2 shutouts. So really good tandem. I think the Penguins, I don't think Jarry's the best goalie in the world. I don't think DeSmith is either. But I think when you put them together, I think you have one of the best goalie tandems in the NHL. And that's really what it is all about. It's not really just about the best goalie. It's goalie tandem as well. We saw it with Murray and Fleury, and even Maxim Lagace, who I didn't put on the board, but I guess I kind of did. So if this one's a little bit of a weirder one, it's kind of just because I'm excited for the playoffs. I kind of wanted to review the regular season, and I'm moving out tomorrow morning. So thank you all for watching. The Flyers, I don't know if they beat the Capitals, but they made sure the Penguins got first in the Mass Mutual East Division. So thanks, Philly. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you all for watching. This is my finale for the regular season. That's 56 PFRs this year. Not 82, sadly, but hopefully the Penguins can make a long playoff push so it can be closer to 82 on the PFR season. And again, if you are not already subscribed, subscribe for Penguins content. There's a little bit of smudge on your screen anyway, so you might as well just wipe that up while you hit the subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. I will see you guys for the first round of the playoffs. The Penguins are likely going to play the Islanders. Hopefully the Islanders. I don't want to play the Bruins, but I'm so excited, man. I'll be home. New setup for this one, or new setup for those playoffs. But yes, playoff hockey, baby. I'm so excited. Let's go Pens. I don't want to say anything, that'll jinx us, but this team has something, man. This team is not what I expected. I'm rambling now, but this team is not what I thought it was. I'll come out and say it. Thought this was a fringe playoff team. Thought the Stanley Cup years were behind us. All I'm going to say, without jinxing anything, is this team's a Stanley Cup contender, man. I love this team. I love the Penguins. I think they're the best team in the East Division. And since that'll be the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, I'll see you guys in the Eastern Conference Final. Let's go, fans!